Listen, I do not know where the Willie Mac hat is. I'm actually upset about it. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't going to wear it anyway, only because I'm hot. It's hot downstairs, okay? It's 90 degrees out, and I do not have an air conditioner, but it is cool because I'm in a basement. My mom's basement, no. But I wanted to have it to show you that you should buy Willie Mac's hat. But I don't have it. Sorry about that. I apologize, Willard Mackleton. But anyway, the good news is we're still going to check out a Willie Mac video. It's pretty good. I haven't watched it yet, but it's a Willie Mac video. What the hell? What are your expectations? You're ridiculous if you didn't expect it to be solid. So yeah, it's about DrDisrespect. I'm interested. Every time we see a controversy, Willie Mac seems to have more information. I don't know where he goes. I think he walks between realms to find more info. God bless him. Let's get this party started.
It's out of my hand, but I'm still in control.
Is this like a PewDiePie song?
My conscience. I feel so good.
This was his return stream from messaging a minor. How in
What do you mean? He returned? He returned? Or is this like back in the day? Oh my god. He didn't return. Okay, I'm assuming that was like when it happened, not when it was revealed. Okay.
insane is that? DrDisrespect has admitted to inappropriately messaging a minor back in 2017, and that is the reason for his contract termination and ban on Twitch. The same year he messaged a minor, he won Streamer of the Year.
I get a lot
Wow. Well, I guess the kids love him.
of messages, DMs, emails, whispers.
Doc, no!
The whispers.
Oh, he was telling us the whole time. He's been dropped by his own game studio, Turtle Beaches, Black Steel Bourbon, dropped from the YouTube partnership program, even his own website went down. No party admits to any wrongdoing. This is the statement he made in his lawsuit with Twitch. 4 years later, he would write, were there Twitch whispers with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. And
I mean, I feel like he could have just not admitted that part. That would, for better for him. I mean, personally, it's good for the world. We can heal now, right? But yeah, he talks about, listen, the way that he makes it seem like, based on his messages, because I remember it, this is that he did know the age, because he would have, in my opinion, he would have said, oh, she said she was 12. No, she said she was an adult and blah, blah, blah. If he didn't know the age, he would have talked about that. Let's be real. And if you disagree with that, you're a silly little goose that doesn't understand how these things work. And it seems like he would talk to her more than once, just consistently. So it's like, dude, what the hell? What's going on here? So yeah, it's not good. It's weird. We don't even know the age. I mean, the implication is it's 17, but frankly, I'm starting to think that it might be a little bit younger than 17 because we have no information. We probably will never get information. So.
then there's the defense of him, which hasn't been based on any sort of factual reality at all.
Your audience is just jerking off watching you, and everybody knows that. And you know it. Look at her. She's looking down saying, stop that. And then she has the balls.
Well, I mean, I will say that there are some weird, like, Pokimane thirst traps on TikTok. I have somebody I know has an account where they look at thirst trap TikTok dances sometimes. I don't know who would do that. It's disgusting. It's degenerate, I agree. But that person sees her occasionally on there. It's like, that's a little bit weird. You know, just show it already. That's what they say. I say that's disgusting. I can't be friends with you anymore. Of course, because I'm a good Christian boy.
To go say DrDisrespect's a terrible person. But this is my problem with this.
They're both bad people, but like this.
But nobody cancels Pokimane. There's no hate brigade. Everyone's like,
text a 17-year-old.
But she.
Yeah, we don't know if Doc did either. It might have been younger.
He has 13-year-olds jerking off to her, and she's fine with it and monetizing it.
Who cares? Like, I'm not trying to be that guy. I used to be a 13-year-old. I used to take swimsuit magazines to the bathroom and jerk off to them violently. Okay. Yeah, who cares? It doesn't really matter. There's a difference between like, oh, she's thirst trapping, and then maybe some young men are looking at that. Young men are looking at that because that's what boys do, versus somebody having a personal interaction. It's a totally different thing. It's almost like Sneako's not a human because he's a dumb person. You know, we have to stop pretending that boys don't like to, you know, beat it to stuff. That's fine. It exists. It doesn't really matter. Okay? That doesn't really matter. It's when there's that personal relationship developed where it violently. Dude, stop talking. I never said that.
How was that any better?
I get that. What do you want to do? Not show her face?
When Neon's got more common sense than you, it's over. And then there's the least talked about aspect.
I mean, dude, the thing is that Sneako's been running the fence for molesting children for a while now, right? Like, we've seen him constantly talk about how the age of consent should be when she's mature, without giving any age. And the implication, I remember he talked to Destiny, and it was Destiny. It's like, what if she was 13 and he had no? I'm pretty sure, and he had no actual tangible answer. It's just, what if she's mature by whatever metric he feels, which is stupid, idiot. That's it. So, yeah, I mean, of course he's going to have this take because he doesn't think that DrDisrespect did anything wrong, which is so funny because he's pretending that he thinks it's wrong. He doesn't. He doesn't think it's wrong. He doesn't think it's wrong. He's pretending because he knows he needs to, or his audience will call him a loser. He doesn't think what he did was wrong. So I don't know why Sneeko is pretending that he thinks it's wrong. According to him, it's okay because maybe she was mature enough.
Aspect of this story, the terrible journalism by Slasher that is confused, muddied, and made people cast doubt on this entire situation.
Yeah, I don't know why he bothered doing his like tour afterwards. Like, you know, you revealed the situation or whatever, and it's just like, why are you going on a press tour talking to fucking? Even Hassan had to correct you and be like, dude, you got to stop talking about this shit. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Admitting to me that he has pushed this story without ever seeing the messages. No nameable source has. As part of his
I mean, depending on, I don't remember that if he said anything in his video, in his story that needed verification of seeing the text messages, only because DrDisrespect admitted as much. So as long as it was just whatever DrDisrespect admitted, it doesn't matter. And from what I remember, and I could be wrong because I'm old, from what I remember, it was like, I knew about this a long time ago. Here's what I heard from inside the Twit. You know what I mean? So. But, I mean, then again, it is possible that he did push unverified information because now DrDisrespect's not in a position where he's really going to be able to sue for defamation of character, right? So maybe there's that. I don't really know.
Career redemption arc, he pushed the false allegation that Doc was arrested for this.
I did get
Oh, yeah, he just said, yeah, I was arrested. I heard somebody said he might have been arrested, and it turned out he never did.
a
Because he wouldn't get arrested for this.
DM about an hour ago from
Like, whether you like it or not. Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing he wouldn't get arrested. I'm just saying all that we have factually is like, oh, he might have talked to a young person about some stuff that was inappropriate. Lawyer speak. Inappropriate. We know what inappropriate means, but interpreted in like a court of law, inappropriate could mean that he said that he started talking about his poopy and farts, right? So he has like double speak there. And lawyer talk working for him in that manner. He wouldn't get arrested for this.
someone who lives in Encientes, and he sent me a screenshot from his next door. There is a comment that says, "We just saw DrDisrespect in handcuffs," and this is from
bro.
Oh, maybe he met up with the minor and he just likes that kind of shit.
Okay, I can't believe you just dropped that in here because, like, if that is untrue, this is like you're squandering all of the cultural capital that you're winning back by being correct on this matter for the past 4 years.
It was untrue. Even Hassan is shocked by the low-quality journalism. The goal of this video is to clear out the weeds so you know the full story, front to back. What the information is, who the sources are. There's a lot of misinformation going around, and some of this stuff just makes zero sense. And it makes me feel like I need a lawyer up for the mental damage done to me. But most people don't realize that when you get workers' comp or an injury
Here we go, baby. I'm ready for the ad.
from a car accident, the insurance companies are often trying their best to take advantage of your inexperience so they could pay you as little as possible.
True.
That's why Morgan & Morgan exists. Now, I may not be able to sue DrDisrespect when it comes to my head injury. It's self-inflicted after all. But you can still go
Bro, I feel like I've seen this on the actual television. Did he get a fucking... What? That's a crazy ad. God bless, brother.
you're owed when it comes to your car accident or injury in the workplace. They won't settle for the insurance company's lowball offers. These are just some of the verdicts they've been able to achieve. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 attorneys, meaning that they have the resources and the manpower to make sure your case gets the best possible outcome. The insurance
Also, guys, if you have a structured settlement and you need the cash now, you just have to call JG Wentworth 877 cash now. Just letting you know.
companies will never tell you this, but if you were part of a serious injury, your case could be worth millions of dollars. In the past 12 months, they've achieved significant verdicts for victims involved in life-altering car crashes.
It could be, and like I don't know the specifics, but I imagine it's not necessarily a bad thing to just call a lawyer because I don't think most of them don't really charge you right off the bat. So if you call a lawyer and they're like, yeah, you don't really have anything, take the settlement. Maybe I'm wrong about the infrastructure, but I mean, you just got some, you know to take the settlement, you know?
Like $12 million.
They're like, yeah, well, let's not take it. Yeah, we're not going to handle this case. It just sounds like you don't really have too much going on for you there. So, I don't know. Yeah, go for it.
In Florida and $26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times higher than the highest insurance.
Hey, I got hit by a car, and I also really like Willie Mack videos. Can you help me out? Oh, of course. You're a fucking prime customer.
Offer. And the fee is absolutely free unless you win. And you don't even have to sit in a law office for hours to do it. Just use their app to upload relevant documents, medical records, and even communicate with your attorney. It's so easy. So if you ever get seriously injured, your
I like the Judge Judy music playing.
case could be worth millions. Life-changing money. You can go to forthepeople.com/Willie or scan the QR code.
I tried that once. I put Willie at the end of something, and I got some interesting messages, brother.
Only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this video.
I did it. I admit it. I did it. I don't give a fuck. I did it.
Dr. Disrespect's lack of transparency over the years I find particularly disturbing. The narrative he let transpire surrounding his ban was so dishonest. On his first ring back from his ban, he'd act like some returning hero.
You think I'm gonna stop right there? You think that's the end of the line?
Wow, dude, this actually makes it worse. Because if I ever did something like this, I'd have some goddamn shame, and I would never admit it, guys. Just so you know. So you'll never know if I ever have done something like this. I haven't. But like, I wouldn't come back like this, bragging about how I overcame the allegations of chatting with a under 18 person.
You think we're done?
Hindsight completely changes the meaning of some of the things he says.
We're just getting started.
Dark alleyways is where they're gonna find us.
This is so much funnier knowing that he's a creep. He's thanking people who were supportive of him, who thought he was being screwed by Twitch.
Paid with a $100 donation says, God damn, it feels good to have you back, Doc, and it does feel good. It does.
The original theory that he let culminate was that Microsoft's live streaming service Mixer was stealing some of Twitch's biggest stars. So in March of 2020, Twitch secured Dr. Disrespect with a massive contract. June 22nd of 2020, Mixer would announce that it was shutting down. And mysteriously, just 3 days later, Twitch would ban Dr. Disrespect. This was the narrative at the time, as other sources refused to elaborate and even deleted their tweets. Meanwhile, Doc ate up all the love thrown his way.
Which that gives that's like all, yeah.
Man, the love is strong. A lot of people reached out. In fact, I had an Excel worksheet. And
this guy's kind of a professional victim here, huh? This is kind of fucked up. It's like extra fucked up.
I had all these names. And I was going to shout them out. I mean, it's like pages. In regards to the ban, there's a lot of people that want to know. They want to know what happened. Why did you get banned? We still have no idea. As far as I'm concerned, we didn't do anything to warrant a ban, let alone how they went about banning us.
This was August 7th of 2020 before the lawsuit. So there is a chance he didn't know, as the messages sent to the minor were from 2017, which was the same time he was caught cheating on his wife. Doc confirms this date in his recent Twitter response, writing, were there Twitch whispers with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind those messages? The answer is absolutely not.
Then I don't understand. What are you messaging them for if there is no intentions behind them? I just don't know if I believe that. You know, like I said, and this is even a hot take. If he got drunk one time and messaged this person, I'd be like, okay, that's fucking gross, but I can okay, sure. This guy messaged, from what he said, he messaged her multiple times. This isn't like some one-off, oh, I fucked up. Like, what else are you messaging her? What do you, like, what, you're maintaining, and this is an extraordinarily charitable position, you're maintaining a flirtatious relationship with with a minor. That I'm honestly thinking she's like 16 or something, maybe younger. Because I feel like maybe he would have said 17. But I don't know. What the fuck is that about, dude? What's weird? Why do you need validation from a kid? What the hell's the matter with you? Thank you for the $5, Jack Esposito. How you doing, brother? Hey, yo, poppin' friends. My boss accidentally cut off his finger, so unfortunately I'm gonna miss your stream today. Pray for me, Jeffy. Bro, I love you. I'm praying for you. That's incredible. Always a fucking crazy-ass story, brother.
Stupid mistakes, man. There are reports from former Twitch staff alleging that he planned to meet up at TwitchCon with her and that he knew she was underage. I recall that Dr. Disrespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that this was no problem and continued on. Also saying that Doc's retelling of the messages, leaning too much in the direction of being inappropriate, is vastly downplaying the situation. The employee says that Twitch had an initiative in 2020 to investigate streamers who had allegations against them, and that the alleged victim reported it during this time. That's why it didn't come out in 2017, and why Doc was banned just days after this tweet announcing the new initiative. It was also revealed that YouTube knew the allegations the whole time. That's why they never offered Doc a contract.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff is going to be like insider information. You know, they obviously going to know about that, and they're going to want to stay away from that as much as possible, but they're also not going to say anything because it could turn into a legal liability, blah, 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 right?
It seems like everyone behind the scenes knew, so when Doc claims that he didn't, that just doesn't seem believable to me anymore. He looks at his phone and seemingly gets more serious. It seems like he knows something. Then he pulls up a Roblox video and sits in silence. Finally,
yes, because kids love Roblox.
Saying this before ending his stream immediately.
No, this one well. Life's weird right now.
Oh my god!
Well,
I did.
we'll get through this, okay? And
Hey, Christopher.
fuck.
We'll get through this. It's an interesting way to talk about you fucking trying to What?
So was he talking about his Roblox video here, or was he talking about his soon-to-be ban? And it just makes me wonder, did he really not know during his comeback stream?
So let the legal profession.
There's no way. He definitely knew, but he was siding on the defense that he was just siding with the idea, the fact that it was all going to lawyers, that Twitch couldn't really say anything. So he was like, oh, he was feeling confident, he was feeling good that it would never come out. He was ready to move on as a person, and that just did not happen because somebody came forward and fucked him. So in a good way. Not hopefully, and it wasn't a young person.
Professionals do what they need to do. That's it. My conscience. I feel so good. You know who I was talking to right there? I was talking to the small percentage. The ones that there's a sense of urgency that want to know right now because you know what they want. Something bad to happen out of it, right? Let's not beat around the bush. That's just a small percentage, though. The larger percentage, the true supporters, the followers of the doc, they know what I'm about. They've been following me for years. Yeah. They know what I'm about.
Yeah.
I don't beat around the bush. I get straight to the point.
In hindsight, it's so manipulative. One thing is for sure, though,
his wife texted him while he was streaming. Well, I wonder what she texted him.
Did know during the lawsuit, and he insisted that he was the victim.
I appreciate the support. You guys have just been absolutely amazing. What the Twitch ban is really, how it's really affected us, not just from a financial standpoint, but from a networking standpoint, from all the relationships we've built over the past 5 years in terms of Activision and EA. I mean, everyone, all the big sponsors, all the big partnerships. Don't
you love it? He's counting all the stuff that he was building. He's like, we generated all this networking and this and that. It's like, yeah, and you threw it away for somebody who hasn't even finished high school. Do I think he'll try to come back? I don't know. Honestly, I think that if he did come back, he would still see... Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure YouTube demonetized him, right? So what is he going to come back to? Rumble? I mean, I don't even know. Kick? Would that be a good look for Kick if he came back? I don't know.
Have to question, why did you get...
If he came back, he'd probably still have enough of an audience to make a good wage. Let's be real. Sneako's audience would definitely be all over him. It would be incredible. But the only networking opportunities that are going to be left are going to be with people like Sneako, red pill people, disgusting, degenerate losers who don't think what he did was disgusting and pathetic. So he's not going to have the problem is that like if he comes back, his audience is going to be worthless. They're going to be pieces of shit. It's going to be enough to make him a good amount of money, but they're going to be like the shit of the shit. Like they're going to be absolute dog shit people. And so that kind of brings up the thing. It's like, okay, well, where do you go from there? Like, how do you recover from that? It's hard to live something like that down. So it's a good thing that it's hard to live something like that down. But I don't really know. So if he did come back, the only associations he would have would be with some worthless pieces of shit. Thank you for the $2 from No Pale Jesus. He is a freaky ass streamer. He a Twitch whisperer. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Unless he's able to pull out like the most incredible PR move of the century, I really don't see him coming back in any effective, capacity.
I mean, yeah, from a business point of view, it is a completely legitimate question to ask.
But a lot of people ask me, do you know the reason? Yeah, I do know the reason why now. I've known for months now the reason why. Okay. And I'll just say this right now, champs. There's a reason why we're suing the out of them. Okay? I don't know how else to put it. The amount of damages and you just don't... No, it really fucking sucks.
It's interesting because he said he was going to sue and then he ended up settling for nothing. So that kind of communicates that there was definitely wrongdoing from him.
I don't know how else to put it, man. It's affected us in so many different ways. And I've just been in a...
He's making it seem like the reason was completely ridiculous. Twitch is irrational, when there's at least some truth to it. No party admits to any wrongdoing. This was the statement given after Twitch allegedly paid out DrDisrespect in full, further pushing the narrative that he did nothing wrong. As you guys know, this would come to a head last week when an ex-Twitch employee, Cody Connors, would tweet, DrDisrespect got banned because he was caught sexting minors in the existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon.
I wonder what prompted this guy to like come out with it and just be like, yeah, this is what happened. I truly do. Like, why now? Maybe because he didn't. Maybe because he felt like. Maybe he just felt bold enough to do it. Like he wasn't going to get any punishment or he was done with Twitch. Because I imagine if you're linked to Twitch in some capacity, it's their lawsuit. And if you say something, they may not necessarily want to hire you again because, you couldn't keep a secret and blah, 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 blah. And it could be a liability for the company, but it's crazy.
He's closed. This would come out during Doc's most recent live stream, which is just hilarious to watch. It all broke right after he ate this cupcake.
Third try and Baby Assassin brought me a little cupcake.
Is that fucking real, dude? Come on.
That's a celebration.
Oh, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
I'm gonna eat my cupcake and I'm gonna celebrate. Nothing you're gonna do about it.
There was, nothing that was want to be sexual involved because I'm not like that. You know, well, obviously the text messages and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Note to
Yeah, and obviously I'm not like that, except for all the times I was like that, of course.
self, do not eat cupcakes. Doc's chat would be filled with messages begging him to respond. Even the glasses can't hide the doom in his eyes. He's like this for over a minute.
Damn, his whole life flashing before his eyes. That's crazy.
And then he goes silent again. A fan would ask how he's doing, and he seems to know he's screwed.
How we feeling, Doc? Says Roy. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little fatigued. Feeling a little fatigued. We came in here, champs. We came in here. High energy. High energy. But I'm telling you, man, I'm just feeling fatigued.
Wow, what convenient timing.
When shit like this happens over the weekend.
It's that mental fatigue. Jesus, it's that mental fatigue, man. Like, I've been there before where I'm like really stressed out because I did some really fucked up shit. I'm feeling bad about it.
And it just kind of, it's like how many times can I I don't, like I'm actually tired of being on social media, and I've expressed that over the years, champs. I just,
This part actually makes me a bit angry because instead of defending himself or saying that he's going to talk to his lawyers before responding, he acts like he's above taking this seriously.
Over the years, it's just gotten, I don't know, like it's been drained out of me. It's being drained out of me. It's being drained out of my family and I. But I think the first and foremost, though, is I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up.
Sort of.
And I think I might just extend that starting today, starting now.
He's literally running out of town.
I think when I say step away, I'm gonna have to.
Isn't that the sad reality, though? That DrDisrespect did some fucked up shit. And right now, he's probably on an extended vacation with the millions of dollars that he's made, having a better life than the rest of us. And I wouldn't trade my life for his, because I'm not looking to do that kind of fucking degenerate shit. But it's like, wow. Wow. Like, that's interesting. What a miserable life for us, He's just having a good time. He's probably enjoying it. His wife probably forgave him because he's making all this money anyway. And something, I don't know. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. And we're sitting here and, we're just sucking a fart. And that's just life, man. Thank you so much for the $5 from Carter R that says boobs. I appreciate that, man. Even the 16-month small gut from Dima Toriyasu. Yes, incredible. You guys are really wild today, huh?
Either have to relay this to the Midnight Society, but maybe I step away from there too.
This was likely Doc strategically getting ahead of his own company, Midnight Society, dropping him. And then there's the boldest part of Doc's defense, which is saying that all of his haters are terminally online. Trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real life experience, I don't give a f about you. I'm not going.
Yeah, dude, you really need to grow up and go outside and like get the real life experience and understanding that 16-year-old girls are hot, right? Like, I don't. It's like minors are so attractive. That's what you guys need to do. Okay, you're all terminally online. Don't you get it? Don't you get it, Dad? Fucking weirdo.
Going anywhere. I don't know how you're going to call anyone terminally online when you were a 35-year-old man cheating on your wife with a 17-year-old. Now, this is all under the assumption that what Doc has sent to the minor was verified by the journalist. But surprisingly, the information they've actually laid eyes on is less than you realize. Like a lot less.
Wow. I just swallowed my own spit. What I was going to say is, like, well, I'm not basing any of this off of what the journalist may or may not have said. All my perspective comes from what Doc said. And when he's sitting in there talking about how it leaned in the direction of inappropriate, you know what that is. You know it's some fucking lawyer speak saying I talked to a kid about sex. Like, that's what it comes down to. So, like, this isn't even, that information isn't necessarily even relevant to me. It's like, you know what I mean?
If there is a defense for DrDisrespect, I'm having trouble looking past two major red flags. The first one is when he says, were there intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. What were those false intentions? Was it meeting up? It's exactly what pedos say on To Catch a Predator when they show up to the house.
This man's excuse sounds pretty old. And what have you heard about those stories?
I just was looking for a kid to bring to Chuck E. Cheese because they won't let me in there without a kid. Go ahead, use that one, Predators. It's a good argument. It's a good excuse because Chuck E. Cheese has some fucking awesome shit in there, but you're not allowed in if you don't have a kid. So, if Chris Hansen ever pulls you over, I don't know why he would do that, but if he ever catches you, you just say, "I was looking for a kid to go to Chuck E. Cheese with, so I can get some of the delicious pizza." So, pretty good strat. Yeah.
That people or there's pedophiles out there, but that's not my intention tonight. I just wanted to have a party and have a good time.
He also takes moral responsibility with his only defense being, anyone who truly knows me fucking knows where I stand on those things.
He said that he was messaging a minor and it would sometimes lead to teeter on inappropriate if he knew that was a minor and those were the messages being sent. I cannot support that. I can't.
He basically confirms that, you know, he was texting an underage girl and it went weird sometimes, you know, and look, just to be blunt and straightforward, man, that's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? I can't support it. I can't defend it.
The defense of Doc has also been one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. There's an email going around defending Doc. It was an anonymous source saying that the girl was 17, but that Doc didn't know the age at the time. And because of the brand name, the message
I remember that. It was like an unverified piece of information. But we don't even know if she's 17. I don't even know. We really don't. Thank you so much for another $5 from Carter R. Just kidding, Papa. Started watching in the Twitch days and have recently came back to the content. Love the long-form content. Hey, I appreciate that, brother.
Interpreted as inappropriate. That's why in the court proceedings they settled with no wrongdoings. But this thing's obviously fake because it gets so many details wrong. Like saying that the Twitch whispers were from many weeks prior from his last stream. We know according to Doc himself it was 3 years prior. This anonymous email has also been called out as fake by Slash's anonymous source.
Have you seen this email going around, by the way?
I can say it is 100% fake bullshit, just like everything else. Stop believing everything you read on the internet. Okay.
That's a little ironic for him to say that. And I don't doubt him, by the way, after he just pushed the idea that he was arrested. So kind of funny that he would do that.
A primary source says, literally in quotes, LOL in capital letters, this is complete bullshit.
Yet for some reason you have people like Sneeko taking it as a fact. Western culture is hilarious. If someone texts a girl that's 17 years, 11 months old, he gets junked by the whole industry. But if the same girl waits 1 more month to sell her body on OnlyFans, she is celebrated by that same industry as an independent queen.
Crazy. I just want to be clear. Anytime you understand Sneeko, understand that he defends child molestation. He thinks it's totally fine to sleep with a kid as long as she looks mature. And nobody should listen to him. He's a disgusting loser, so.
World. We do not know this girl's age. She could be 17 or she could be 15, 13. We have no idea. On top of that, Doc is 42. He would have been 35 at the time. If you're 35 years old and you're trying to hook up with a minor, I'm going to call you the P word. You have all this fame and money and
I got 1 more year left, dude. I gotta see. Hopefully I don't get activated by Hollywood. That's just being fucking stupid.
Only thing you have to do is not message someone who's under 18 and you blew it.
Dr. Disgusting, says Valky Ray. Yuck, says Pokimane.
Valky Ray. That's gay. You said
everyone hates you, but as soon as that second hits midnight, then she can sign up on OnlyFans, sell her body, and then everyone's gonna parade around and say, "You go, queen! You're an independent girl boss, slay, clown world." I don't know everything about Dr. Disrespect, but what is the Let's break it.
I think Sneeko's desperately hoping that Dr. Disrespect will come back and be his friend. Like, oh, maybe I could play it like this now. Maybe when he comes back, he'll come and talk to me, and I could be popular off of him. Because, again, this would be the last community he'd be accepted in. So I wonder, and the markers are kind of there. If you looking at this video, there's a little bit of insight. Doc is too confident in his, eluding the allegations originally, coming back as if he was a victim, as if he overcame something ridiculous. To me, I don't think it's too far off to say yeah, maybe he will come back a little bit red pill. I would not doubt it, to be actually honest with you.
Get down. Pokimane pretty much does softcore porn for 14-year-old boys.
Crazy.
Her audience is 95% men who are jerking off the entire stream.
Bro, that's Fresh and Fit's audience too. What are you talking about? It's funny how they talk about these, but that's your buddy's entire content. Let's bring a bunch of OnlyFans whores on, and we're going to embarrass them and talk about how bad they are. The only reason they come on is because they know that your audience is going to spend hundreds of dollars on them. Okay, so that's every Fresh and Fit audience is a bunch of little boys jerking off to it. That's literally all it is. Looking at the leaks, looking at the this, looking at the that. Get the fuck out of here.
Boogie, I want to poke you, Pokey.
We're comparing Pokimane, who has simps, and maybe you could argue she could thirst trap, with Dr. Disrespect, who was caught messaging a minor. These are not comparable whatsoever. Even Neon recognizes that.
Pokimane, your audience is just off watching you, and everybody knows that. And you know it. Look at her. She's looking down saying, stop that. Look at that cringe. She's cringing at her simp fans.
You like how he's making up a whole story for this? Oh, she's looking at it and saying, stop that, stop that. He's got a whole He's creating Pokimane fan fiction in his head in real time. Like this guy is the one jerking off to Pokimane. Let's be absolutely real. Like this is the degenerate over here. Okay, he's creating a lore in his head about how this whole scenario would go. He's a weirdo.
On the stream all day, and she's aware of it. And then she has the balls to go say Dr. Disrespect's a terrible person. But this is my problem with this.
They're both bad people, but like this.
But nobody cancels Pokemon.
I mean, you could argue Pokimane's a bad person, but not the same type of bad. Let's be real. So what the fuck are we doing here?
Man, there's no hate brigade. Everyone's like,
text a 17-year-old.
But she has 13-year-olds off to her, and she's fine with it monetizing it. How is that any better?
I get that, but what do you want her to do? Not show her face, like,
or don't get on a moral high ground about
Dr. I mean, the way she's like, it doesn't look like she's dressed crazy.
But she has no legs to stand on in a moral high ground about Dr. Disrespect when Twitch is 13 plus and her entire chat is jerking off to her, and she's aware.
Crazy. Gotcha, Sneeko. You're a dumb person.
She's like right here. She's
in a perfect world, what do you want her to do?
Don't talk about Dr. Disrespect.
How can she help that?
Why?
Does she need to wear a hijab? One is Dr. Disrespect directly participating in the interaction. The other one is Pokimane just existing on camera. Jeremy has been pushing the same lie that the girl was confirmed 17. After Doc admitted to messaging a minor, Jeremy replied, firm handshakes.
Yeah. Well, Jeremy's a fucking weirdo. I checked out his defense run of Doc. Overly suspicious of the information that Doc said. Like, oh, we don't know if he knew the age. He knew the fucking age. That's why he didn't say anything about the age, because he fucking knew. Oh, well, we don't... Just shut up, us. At what point are you just going to stop talking there, bud? You know? I already covered it. You can look up Dr. Disrespect quartering Papa Gut for a great video.
Are you congratulating him, Jeremy? I don't understand. He deleted this tweet and said, spam my firm handshakes reply to him all you want in the replies. I am right. You were all acting like he got caught having sex with a 9-year-old. Jeremy would
that's also bad and worse, but this is not good. Okay.
Build this back on his YouTube channel, coming up with the conspiracy saying this only came out because Nick Merckx hates trans people.
To my opinion, that the only reason that this finally came out about Doc is because Nick kind of kicked the hornet's nest by saying, leave the kids alone. Nick had said, hey, these...
He's next level conspiracy brain on this one. That's incredible. What he's trying to tell you is that since Nick Merckx is like very homophobic and transphobic, because that's what the leave the kids alone bullshit is, that means people came forward about Doc as a conspiracy. Okay, because part of it is casting doubt that it's even authentic. That's what it is. That's what it's about. They came forward about this just to like somehow, you know, hurt this community. And I guess Dr. Disrespect and Nick Merckx were all part of like this community. So,
you know, certain types of people are not real people. You're either a boy or you're a girl. And then coincidentally, a few days later, they released what the real...
Coincidentally, fucking 8 years ago or whatever, Doc talked to a fucking kid inappropriately. Incredible. Yeah, you're right. Definitely, timeline's crazy.
And Doc was banned for. Now, I assume that means they probably didn't have anything on Nick, and they figured the best way to hurt him would be to hurt his friend.
He's a dummy. Did I not? What, are you a dummy?
These people who are moralizing on Twitter about it and celebrating it, they never cared about protecting kids. They never cared about what Doc did. They cared that Doc's friend dunked on the LGBTQ community.
I feel like Nick's been doing that once a week for the past 5 months. There's no correlation here.
That's true. He's been saying dumb shit about it all the time for attention because he's a disrespectful loser. Like, here's the thing, like I've said this before, like if you don't like the LGBTQ community, like whatever, I don't really care, but you don't have to be disrespectful to them, and Nick is intentionally being disrespectful for attention. Like he's attention baiting by saying what he's saying, and that's the problem. It's not that he's like, yeah, I don't really get it, I don't really agree with it, whatever, fine, I disagree with you, but like that's respectful. He's sitting there trying to attention bait on Twitter for attention. Like he's engaging in female behavior. I'm just kidding.
Always got to loop back to trans people. Are the trans people under your bed right now, Jeremy? No matter what the ex-employee's motives were, it's good that this is out. Now, even though this whole subject made Jeremy look like a clown at best and a freak at worst, I still agree with his video in principle.
What I'm saying is, let me see the messages. If the messages really are as bad as the left and the mainstream media want you to believe, they've all...
The left, dude, the left. What?
All clearly seen them, and if you put them out there and they really are, you know, the bad of the bad, then it's over, right? It's just...
Sure, the problem is like I agree with the general sentiment, but I watched that video and there's so much to attach to it that casts too much doubt. Again, anybody with like an intelligent anybody with a baby brain would be able to understand that what Doc is saying is he's unverifying the actual age of the girl or person. I guess it could be something else, but it's very clear he knew her age. From the way that I'm reading it and everybody else is reading, it's clear he knew her age. He did it multiple times, that those messages were sexual in nature, and he's refusing to believe that because he just wants Dr. Disrespect to be innocent. That's what it comes down to. So, like, one thing saying, like, yeah, from what it sounds like, it's pretty bad, but we need to, I want to wait for more before I talk more, is totally fine. But he's made like 20 videos about this. You know, whatever, you want to do that, but you obviously have a very strong opinion because you're constantly making different videos about it. So it's just that's the problem, is the constant doubt that he's trying to cast onto the situation.
Just done.
And it begs the question, why didn't Twitch make this clear from the start, and have the journalist even seen anything? The answers are concerning.
A toast to the bad guy with bad bitches.
I wouldn't doubt that the person who leaked it originally has seen the messages. I think he was very involved. Like, he was pretty high up in the company from what I remember and understand. But they don't seem to have them left. So.
The bad times will pass by.
The problem with the main journalist on this story is that he's always leading people on as if he knows more than he actually does, ultimately confusing the story. When asked what is the age of the girl, Slasher, aka Rod, gives a non-answer.
Do you know the age of the person?
Was not used in the reporting.
Are they 17 or are they younger than 17?
I do not have comment.
What do you mean you don't have a comment?
So why are you on a fucking press tour doing this? That's my thing. Why are you on a publicity tour about this whole article that you wrote? I mean, I know that he's really proud of himself, but like, why are you on this fucking press tour then if you have no additional information and insight that you can give us? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're just there to, what, like, brag? Hope people will watch your video? You don't have to need, like, it just seems like a stupid play.
Do you know or not? Okay, how about this? Why didn't Twitch say anything allowing this alleged predator to roam freely for 4 years? Hey.
Well, in the conversation about, I don't know. That's a question that we don't know. I don't know. We'd have to understand the specifics. You know, they might have been as simple as they didn't want people to know that they had Doc on there for as long as he was on there because it looks bad for them. We don't necessarily know if he's a predator. It might have been because it would have been bad. I don't know. That's a whole conversation I don't want to have right now. I've had it in like my other video about Dr. Disrespect. Go watch that if you want. We really have no idea why.
Paying him millions in the process.
All of this was about protecting the victim. Okay, that is why Twitch has never said anything. They will never say anything, not just about this case, but
I mean, that's stupid. I don't think that has anything to do with Twitch's decision-making process to protect the victim.
Any of the other sexual misconduct, harassment, or assault cases that have ever happened on this platform, whether it's Method Josh.
I would honestly believe that it was just because Twitch didn't want the bad publicity. They just didn't want to have like an association with like this type of disgusting behavior.
Or Hashinshin, or Doc, or anyone else.
That is very different, as Method Josh had screenshots and receipts backing up the allegations. And Shinshin has Twitch whispers that leaked of him talking to a 15-year-old while he was 26, saying she should watch him without pants on.
Oh my god.
Twitch confirmed that this is why they banned him. It is the opposite of what Slasher is saying. With Doc, there's nothing, and the fact that Twitch willingly paid out makes them look bad, like they mishandled this whole thing.
The responsibility of trust and safety and the legal and law enforcement employees that work for these companies, they are to protect the victim.
I don't know why he's running defense for Twitch. Why doesn't he just be like, oh, I don't really know why they didn't come forward. It seems like a bad idea. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, man.
There to make sure the victims are anonymous and to make sure the victims are safe. The only reason we know about certain other cases is because those victims came forward. The victim never wanted to come forward or be involved in this situation. That is why Twitch had never said anything, and they will continue to never say anything.
Right, but if the evidence didn't come forward in these other cases, these guys would still be around with clean reputations. Also, how does releasing the messages endanger the victim? Just redact the name. Then we wouldn't have 4 more years of potentially new victims. Destiny would challenge Slasher on this.
Yeah, that's true.
And he wouldn't have a good answer.
A lot of the pieces to contextualize why Twitch was unable to say anything, and why they do not say anything, and why something like the logs are never going to come out, nor should you want to see them.
Well, I mean, I don't think we ever will see them. But, like, why is he running so much defense for Twitch? Why is he so sided on this? That's such a weird thing.
But is there an answer that's good, or is it just like a to protect the victim thing?
Well, the two main answers, and yeah, all that it needs to be focused on is that, quote unquote, it not only endangers the victim, which
how does it endanger the victim?
Needs to be the priority. Destiny, it's not for.
Wait, how does it endanger the victim?
Any potential for the victim to be identified.
How if you just redact any identifying information? I don't understand.
How could it possibly lead to the victim being identified?
There is no reason.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, like, what would Doc release that? But that would just make him look worse because now it's confirmed, and now there's like a face to the crime, right? Now there's like a person that's there that makes it seem even more real than it is. Because right now, with her not being released, which is a good thing, but it makes it more abstract of like, hey, did this to like a person, not a specific person, just like somebody. You know what I mean? So I don't see how would it endanger her in any capacity. What's going on, brother?
Slasher just starts making up new reasons for why these messages can't be released. It's suddenly illegal to show the messages.
People should not and cannot demand information and access to when not only should they not have it, but a lot of times it is illegal.
How would it be illegal unless he sent his dick?
Okay.
Or like there was like some kind of nude. You could also redact that.
I don't, because Doc knows who the person was, right?
Yes, but the public doesn't. Nobody else does.
Yeah, but how is the public seeing a personal DM going to like clue them in? Like, do we have?
It is illegal to publicly show underage minors and their conversations.
I don't think that's true. What?
No shot. That's illegal.
What law is he citing? I don't know. Everyone disagrees. No one can find anything. If there was nude sent or illegal material, I would understand. But Twitch has already reported this incident to authorities, and apparently there is no investigation.
When it was initially reported, all reports with CSCA or CSAM are reported to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children.
Okay, so there is a report on Dr. Disrespect at the National Center.
The legal process after, again, no court records have ever been found. I've never been able to get law enforcement to comment or even acknowledge that a thing exists. Do not have details on where.
Have I seen the New Age predators catch that slap up predators? I have mixed feelings. Yeah, I saw it the other day. I you know, guilty pleasure. I was sitting there for like half an hour watching clips from them. And I just found a thread and I was like, whoa. And it's like, it's interesting because I know what you mean. You have mixed feelings because it's like, on the one hand, you know, it's like fucked up watching it because you're watching somebody get the fuck smacked out of them. But on the other hand, they're disgusting people who are trying to, like, you know, assault a kid. You know, I guess my thing is, like, I don't care. Like, it's funny. I don't know. You know, here's the thing. The human in me is like, it's funny. Like, good. Like, I don't care. Fuck them. They deserve to get the shit beaten out of them. But then it's like, okay, when this happens, does it stop their ability to get the person in jail? Because they're always like, they always smack the fuck out of the guy. And then they're like, oh, if you want, go ahead, press charges. I'll take an assault charge. You'd have to take this charge. So to me, that insinuates that like they're kind of getting away with it. You know what I mean? It sounds like they might be getting away with not going to jail. Now I could be wrong. I haven't like researched it or looked into it. They might actually get the guy put in jail and stuff. I don't really know, but that's the only thing that I would be a little bit worried about. So
where it went after.
Just to be clear, though, those are just reports. Right? So, like, for instance, if I think that Forethought has been engaged in bad behavior in my subreddit, like, if I would make that report to them. They would have that report filed. That doesn't mean anything. It's just a report, right?
Well, NCMEC automatically works with all law enforcement organizations.
Sure, I'm just saying that, like, a report is just a report. It doesn't necessarily mean that, like, something happened. It just means somebody felt like they had an obligation to make that report, right?
Yeah, well, Twitch is obligated to make that report.
Now, just because nothing came from this doesn't mean Doc isn't guilty. It just means what he did wasn't illegal. That is why it's important for the court of public opinion to have evidence so they can...
Yeah. Because it didn't, I think it probably was like very inappropriately flirtatious, or they may just not have cared very much because, you know, the systems can sometimes be shit. But yeah, he was flirting with a fucking kid multiple times. I think we got enough information for me, you know?
Make a proper decision. Inappropriate messages with minors get posted all the time as part of other stories. I don't know why this one would be any different or why it would be illegal, but either way, when Doc chose to sue Twitch, they had the option to take things to discovery where the messages could leak through a legal avenue. Slasher says they did it because they wanted to protect the victim.
Twitch's responsibility ultimately will always be on the victim and to try to do what they can.
No, again, I think that it was just bad press for Twitch, and I could be wrong. And they were like, okay, well, we'll push to discovery. If you sue us, and you know, they were like, okay, we'll settle, we'll give you this money for a payout, yada yada yada. We're on like some kind of an NDA. It's certain aspects of it, and you know, we agree not to say this, you agree not to say that. We kind of keep it under wraps because it might have been more expensive for them to like deal with the specifics of the situation.
And specifically in this case, because it involved a minor, having it always be as anonymous as possible and their safety was their primary importance.
Why is this guy, like, I still don't understand why this guy is guzzling the cum off Twitch. Like, I don't understand why he's so invested in defending Twitch for suppressing this information. Like, why don't you just be like, yeah, they should have released it or something? Like, okay.
Sure, you can say all of this, but, like, Twitch could have literally just said, like, we've terminated the contract with Dr. Disrespect because we found out that he was engaged in, like, illicit sexual contact with underage people. Like, I don't know how that statement endangers the victim. Like, Doc already knows that personally. He knows 100% why his contract was terminated. So I don't know how that...
If they give the specifics here, then they're obligated to give specifics on many other...
No, they're not.
...very delicate, strong situations.
What are you talking... Like, what? What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Wait, why? No, they're not.
Is it completely necessary that Twitch or another tech company is responsible for giving specifics, especially in a case like this.
It's not even the conversation we're really having. Are they responsible for it? I don't know. I don't really care. My thing is, like, why are you running so much hard defense for it? Like, that's what I don't understand. Why are you so, like, up in arms about this? It's, like, why is he so desperate to defend Twitch?
Is it completely necessary? I mean, like, probably not necessary. It's just, like, nice for, like, the public safety, I guess.
Well, if they want to protect future victims as well as the current one, I would say it's necessary.
Because it involves a minor in this case, they can legally even say what that hypothetical statement giving out.
You literally can't make a statement whatsoever.
The whole argument he's making is a paradox. He's like, the reason Twitch can't leak it is because they need to protect the victim. That's why Cody's so awesome for leaking it.
He is a very upstanding individual. I can say that there is no NDA and that he really he walked his dog, came home and said, it will do it live, and made the tweet. There is actually no like contractual reason why this happened. It is left ambiguous about what his tweet even means to this day anyway. If that tweet did not happen, primary sources and a certain document, which I have received and other journalists have received that is floating out there, would not have been revealed without the tweet.
He then reveals that Cody has never seen the messages.
Cody, by the way, is a secondhand source. So Cody was never a primary.
Oh, I guess I was wrong before. He's never seen the messages. Great.
Primary source. Cody, I can say, never saw the whispers directly. Cody never saw the trust and safety document that has been going around. Cody, for example, was never a primary source. Okay, Cody, as a person, was always a secondhand person to gain knowledge from somebody else.
Damn, he's really just he's just digging his own goddamn grave here.
Are you saying he didn't know have firsthand of this? Wasn't he head of partnerships at Twitch?
It doesn't matter.
So he didn't know then, for sure. He had no idea. No first.
So trust and safety is going to be separate. Trust and safety is going to be separate.
But you're saying that he didn't talk to this guy or see this stuff for himself.
No.
So the only public nameable source has not seen the messages. That's crazy. So the new excuse becomes, well, we can't show them because that'll interfere with the legal case.
Trust and safety and enforcement ops and, a lot of things I talk about.
Yeah, I really don't understand why this guy's guzzling Twitch's cum. Like I said, it's just it's almost guaranteed. It's just Twitch doesn't want to look bad, so they're not going to release it. But this guy's like weird. He's like so adamant about defending Twitch. What?
Like them doing the work that they did is.
It's so sad that that Mama Max isn't here to destroy DrDisrespect. We need him so bad, dude. He's such a overwhelming force for good.
Why everyone had been in the dark this whole time. If things had gotten out earlier, if you had wanted Twitch to explain, that would have compromised the entire case, and that would compromise everyone else that is there.
So now you're saying that Twitch intentionally didn't come forward with it to not compromise something? What the fuck is he talking about? This guy's full of shit. What? The fuck are you talking about? This guy's weird.
Doesn't elaborate any farther. He's already said that there was no legal case or investigation, so what could be compromised? He's seemingly making up new reasons every minute. When that doesn't work, Slasher's new talking point is to say you should never want to see the messages. You're weird for even asking. Just blindly believe journalists.
It is not the public's duty to know all this information. It can be the duty of journalists like myself and Cecilia to try to do good work while respecting the victim and trying to get information out to the public.
Yeah, this guy comes off that he's just so much better than us,
At the same time, but sources are under no obligation to speak to journalists and to do anything. Their obligation is always for the victims in these situations. I just want to try to get that type of context out there. A lot of the piece is to contextualize why Twitch was unable to say anything and why they do not say anything, and why something like the logs are never going to come out, nor should you want to see them. Even in general, it should be that you don't want to see conversations for minors to try to have to prove to you or anyone on the internet about how contextually this conversation is okay or not as bad or.
Well, but that's not what's happening, right? The minor isn't saying anything. It hasn't come forward and said anything. This is about, from Doc's perspective, to verify his information. This isn't like he makes it seem like this isn't just where she's coming forward saying, this is a bad thing that happened to me. Believe me, and then we're like, oh, we need evidence. Like, that's not what it is. We still would need evidence, but I'm just saying, like, this is an instance where it would be nice to verify it. From Doc's messages, he's already cooked. He's a fucking scumbag. But it would still be good to be able to get some more information here.
Or whatever. For you to want to have to see it is not a realistic thing that you or anyone else on the internet should ever expect.
Eventually, he just says these messages won't leak. In fact, they don't even exist anymore, so stop asking.
If they don't see the actual whispers and messages that happened here...
He could have just led with, like, yeah, I don't know if they exist anymore. They might have suppressed them. But I think that this guy has a weird vested interest in defending Twitch. That's the thing that's so fucking weird. Because coming out and saying that right off the bat, that would make Twitch look kind of bad. It's like, yeah, they're gone. which they probably are, but like, why else would Twitch completely get rid of those? Because they wouldn't want it coming out because it looks bad for them as a company. They're not invested in defending Doc.
Never be like convinced, and that is not going to happen. From what I understand, those do not exist. All right, those are not, at least from those people that I have talked to. If they exist, they do not know that they exist. You will never see them.
Wait,
and for
you could. Some
expectation. No, that would be insane.
So you know what? I will trust the journalist. As long as they've verified the content with their own eyes, that's good enough for me. But they haven't. I want you to listen through this hypothetical.
Can I ask you a question on this thing? So let's say I give you firsthand information about Destiny, okay? And I show you stuff, but I don't let you make a copy. But you know now this is legit shit. So I show you.
I remember this. I remember seeing this.
A video of Destiny stomping on puppies, and it's like the most fucked up shit you've ever seen. But you know this is legit. Like, you can't deepfake what I just showed you. You're throwing up. It's so fucking
I could try.
Unbelievably. And he's sitting there saying, yeah, look, dogs, it doesn't matter. I eat them for meat. Why would I care about them here? Like, the whole thing, it's real. I've shown you this. I'm obviously a good friend of Destiny, the whole thing. But I'm like, listen, I can't give you a copy of this. He knows I'm the only one who has a copy. I don't even know why he sent it to me. Are you going to report on it?
No.
So here's the thing. I can understand why he wouldn't report on this from like a legal perspective. I get it. You know, if you can't, because the idea, if you can't actively confirm and back up what you're saying, like, I get it from a legal standpoint, you might be kind of fucked. So I get why he wouldn't come forward with that, because you don't have like a source to relate it to. You know, I mean, you could again argue that it's similar in the Doc case because they don't have an absolute confirmation, although Doc did admit to some extent. But I think that, which is probably because I think that the Rolling Stone article came out after Doc came forward, so that gives them enough legal backing to be like, oh, these, you know, might be real. And then also there's the conversation about like what position is Doc in to potentially sue for defamation, and can they link it, trace it like right back to you and be like, yeah, well, this article is what led me to this, and that's why this, you know. So I generally understand where he's coming from with that.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd report the shit out of that.
I need the copy of the tape.
Wow, that's a very high bar for verification. I respect that. So I figured Slasher must have the messages. So I asked him, Slasher, I need to know, do you have the messages? Have you seen them? Do you know who may have them? He says, I do not have the messages. Only a very few have access within Twitch. I told him that I don't understand.
Oh, so they still have them? Twitch still has them?
Why the messages couldn't be leaked, and he replied, that seems very misguided. I don't know why people are clamoring for this. He reiterates that we have to...
Why doesn't he know why people are clamoring for this? That's the most dishonest thing. Like, you know why people want to see the information. They want to verify it. Like, how do you... Like, the fact that he would even say that, it's like, that's dishonest. Or you're just really stupid. Like, you know why people want to see it. They want to verify what's going on.
Trust what Twitch is doing, and that someone in his position as a journalist has completely verified the information, and it has passed both the journalistic and legal bar. If you're...
Well, then, I mean, I imagine it has passed whatever legal bar that exists, but, like, what do you mean? But you haven't seen it, so how can you leverage your journalistic integrity? Whatever. Okay, whatever.
Noticed he's not answering my questions, so I repeat myself, just to verify.
Honestly, I don't even know why you'd respond to people. Like, why are you responding to Willie Mack? I mean, I'm happy you did, but I was like, why are you responding? Like, what do you get out of this? Like, why are you continuously responding to what people are talking? Like, why he's on this, like, fucking ego high press tour. That's the problem.
You did see them with your own eyes. He ignores me and tells me I could track down primary sources, but he won't tell me where to start. So I asked the same question again. Just to clarify, you saw the messages with your own eyes. This is not some word of mouth shit. And he replies, the whispers and statements were seen by sources who had direct knowledge / access to them. Remember when I said that Slasher loves giving off the perception that he's more credible than he actually is? I repeat myself for the 4th time. But did you see them? Please be direct. And he finally says, no, I mentioned that already. Really? Because I had a different interpretation when you said you completely verified the information.
Well, yeah, before that, he basically said no. So, like, yeah, he's just all over the place. Yeah, you can't completely verify information if you haven't actually seen it, though.
Our definition of the word verified is not the same. Does anyone else feel like this is a problem? This is being pitched as a case-closed allegation. Cody, the ex-employee who broke the story, has not seen the messages. Slasher, the journalist who's been taking all the credit, has not seen the messages. The Bloomberg journalist has not seen the messages. Twitch apparently can't release the messages because it will compromise the victim. Twitch apparently can't redact the messages because it would be illegal. Twitch apparently...
I mean, maybe those are true. I don't know. Has Twitch actually said that?
Can't give a statement because that will ruin the legal case.
No, it's smart that Twitch doesn't give a statement because they'd be fucking stupid if they did. I'm just being real with you. They probably shouldn't give a statement on this. Bad for them. It's best for them to just like not respond and just move on as a company. From a legal perspective, from a moral perspective, they should, but we're not dealing with the morality of these businesses.
Oh, but also there is no case or investigation taking place. All of this is stemming from an anonymous source that used to work at Twitch's Trust and Safety. But the only damning part of this story is Doc's tweet responding to Cody, admitting he inappropriately messaged a minor.
Yeah, that's what we waited for before we even talked about it, because that was like the most credible piece of information that we had.
Look, Twitch has screwed up this entire story. Slasher defending him, saying they paid him out, let him exist for 4 years growing on another platform, all because the victim didn't want her anonymous messages to get out there, is like saying the police chose to let a murderer get away because the family doesn't want to relive the trauma.
Well, Maybe. Just to be clear, I don't think that was ever been explicitly said. Like, if she specifically did say, don't release those messages, they would be embarrassing for me, I would understand a little more why they wouldn't want to leak it. But that's not what's being said. That's not even, it's more of like, well, we just don't want the victim to be, what it sounds like what Slasher is saying is he's just running hard defense for Twitch. He's just guzzling their cum. And he's making the insinuation that it would be like bad for the person, dangerous if they came forward. They're not. If he had said like, oh, the woman specifically, or well, woman now, but she specifically doesn't want it to get out because she's embarrassed by it, that I would be more like, okay, cool, maybe that was part of a settlement. But that's not what's being said. That's not what I'm hearing. Maybe I'm wrong. What I'm just hearing is like, oh, you know, we got to protect the victim as an excuse to protect Twitch and whatever their specific involvement is. You know, not explicit involvement, but just like involvement in the sense of using their platform and bad publicity and this, that, and the other thing.
Stupid because it's potentially putting public safety at risk. So what does this mean? People like me are going to read in between the lines and assume these messages are way worse than Doc is letting on. That the anonymous sources are probably right. But the reality is when Doc comes back, he says he's going to come back. He's going to frame it like this. The tweet I made was panicked and had to be purposely vague. The
Oh, he might.
messages were simply out of context jokes that maybe leaned inappropriate at times, but nothing more.
That's possible. He might come back with a new, like, you know, bullshit artist response. Now that he gets feedback, he can basically try to rewrite history. Even if that wasn't his intention when he put it out there, that would be, like I was talking before, he would have to have some kind of you know, star rebranding or whatever coming back. And frankly, he also might wait to come back. He might wait for his lawyers to get involved before coming back. Because all this information that is out, that in the way that it's come out, the lawyers might pressure YouTube and say, like, you demonetized him on a rumor. You know, you have nothing here. Well, he did admit this. It's like, what did he admit? That he might have said some inappropriate stuff? Do you know what the inappropriate stuff is, YouTube? Is it poop jokes? Is it that? Again, in my opinion, he said inappropriate because he's trying to downplay how bad it was, and he's trying to use plausible deniability language, you know, from like almost like a lawyer perspective. So he might wait to get his money back on YouTube. He might wait for like a legal, like, you know, loophole for YouTube, and then come back, and then he has another win. It's like, oh, look, YouTube reinstated me. Guess what I did wasn't so bad, and then he would be able to live it down. You know, there's a lot of different avenues that his lawyers are probably sitting there cooking up. So
it's not serious. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. Twitch says they gave it to authorities, but there was no charges. I'd like to give more context, but I'm tied to legal obligations. I didn't do anything wrong. No wrongdoings were found. And Twitch paid me. I would bet money that this is a statement, and without evidence, this is really hard to dispute. People like me have nothing to point to besides anonymous sources and journalists who haven't seen anything. The public will believe Doc because that's the only information that will exist.
Shame on you, Dr. Disrespect! Shame on you for what you do!
People are not going to believe journalists just because they say so. There's been too many cases where the reality turned out different than the allegation initially led on.
yeah, that's true. Call me Carson for sure.
And these cases frankly had more evidence. Slasher is just not a good journalist. He would go on his sound stream to promote his article, and he would say that Doc was arrested because of this story.
I did get a
anonymous, unverified source, very credible to me,
DM about an hour ago from someone who lives in Encientes, near Rancho Santa Fe. That is the area that Dr. Disrespect lives in.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me a screenshot from his next door, which is in that area. And there is a comment. This was from 11 a.m. this morning, so this is before like my article came out. There is a comment that says, "We just saw Dr. Disrespect in handcuffs. He lives right there. Assuming it has something to do with the accusations."
He's doing that thing where he's making it sound like he has some credible source. He doesn't. It's just a next door post. Even Hassan's like, dude, you're not helping out your credibility with this.
I cannot confirm or verify anything, but
then why say it?
This is coming from someone who is in that next door, and this
okay,
is from
bro. Okay, you're. Listen, I didn't hear that. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's so funny.
I feel like
because Hassan doesn't verify anything he talks about.
I don't know. I don't know how to respond to this. Okay, I can't believe you just dropped that in here because like if that is untrue, this is like you're squandering all of the cultural capital that you're winning back by being correct on this matter for the past 4 years.
Towards the end of the interview, a viewer would point out that this was fake, and Slasher would just ignore it, continuing to promote his article.
The next door screenshot about Doc being arrested is fake. It's a fake screenshot. I didn't even show the next door screenshot. but I don't. Like I said, that is like unconfirmed anyway. I would not run with that. Other words,
Thank you for reading, everyone. Please go click and give me traffic if you have not while I'm here.
of course.
The top comment of Slasher's interview says, "You could tell me that Slasher has never known anything about this entire situation, and I would 100% believe you. He's a terrible journalist, and if he never returned to cover the story, there would be less confusion. He keeps talking as if he knows things when he doesn't."
Who do you think is winning the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef? Says, I'm just random. Drake's winning.
In conclusion, I place a lot of blame on Twitch, and I think there's two distinct possibilities for what happened. One is that Doc is 100%...
I mean, have you guys heard You're a Poopy Pants, liar, liar? On TikTok before Drake's team, I think, from what I understand, had to take it down. Because it used AI to put that song out there. Or some believe it's a leak. If you've heard that, then Drake is definitely winning that beef.
I'm guilty. The anonymous sources are dead on. They get the report, they want to cut ties with him, but they don't want the bad press of one of their biggest stars being a pedo. This is a dark reality, meaning that Twitch covered up this guy soliciting a minor for their brand. The second possibility is that Twitch staff saw inappropriate messages, they reported it to authorities, and they banned them. But maybe those messages weren't as explicit depending on your interpretation. And Twitch's lawyers realized this put them in a legally tricky situation. So
yeah, that actually could be it too, sure.
They settled and paid out. In both scenarios, the Twitch employees are telling the truth, but in option 2, Doc is telling the truth as well. I personally think that he only came out with this statement vaguely admitting to stuff because he thought the messages were going to leak after Cody's post.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. Or maybe he just felt like it was about time that he just talks about it because it's something that's been looming over his head for many years.
75% leaning towards the first theory. But I guess we'll never know. Everyone agrees on one thing though. If the DMs don't leak, Doc is going to be able to set the narrative for his comeback.
Is there some bizarro world that he gets more popular?
I don't think more popular. But there's a world where he comes back with like limited popularity and then he's builds from there.
No.
When he returns to streaming.
If you were to ask me this question, you know, 5 days ago, I would have said no. But considering that I have seen so much defense of Dr. Disrespect's actions from people who understand the situation and yet still defend him, and people who, like, I guess, are voluntarily misunderstanding the situation and defend him.
Somebody got really upset with me when I was talking about Dr. Disrespect, because I was like, yeah, never really watched this content. I don't really get why I don't really understand the appeal. And somebody in the comments was like so offended by that. Like, you don't get it? No, I don't. What does he do? He dresses up like a fucking, he just cosplays all day and just yells. I don't really get it. Like, that's cool if it resonates with you. I'm a grown man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's fine. I don't understand why that person was so offended. That part was the weird part.
I don't know. Maybe there is a market for this sort of thing.
Diss me, now you gotta kiss me, Drake 2024. That's what I'm saying, dude.
By misunderstanding, he means people who want to see the evidence. It's hard to blame them because no public source has seen the messages. Evidence matters. Well, there you go.
How dare you say that?
Full Doc story. Now you could drum up your own conclusions. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the homies over on Patreon. Phoebes, Crimson Glass, Riveter, Christina Vina, Mac Monkey, Drink Kobex, Necro Valley, Stefan Bildman, Abby Blackbird, The Confusing Opinion, Eddie Bizzle, Tiz McFits, Christopher H, TV Anthology Reviews, Kinkle Morse, Sennial Music, Lucas If, ET Automatic, Snoopy Poop Doop 2, Amur ML Bit,
my favorite one,
Albert Kreslak, Deep Pocket Jew, Beth Anderson, Phoenix, Rooney Boo, and the Mega Homies, Reynolds Hughes Hellison, IGP, Your Taxi, Latchkey Goth Boy, Cyber Katie, Lori Loaded, Papa Gut,